You also, there's many examples. You go to different areas, you check the local cuisine, local food, and you incorporate that into your menus, and overall just get a greater understanding. So clearly, you understand that food and culture are intrinsically linked in some way.
Absolutely.
So just elaborate on that. What role do you think that food has in spreading culture?
Well, um, so to me, I think food is a part of a culture, right? Just like there are traditions, there are festivals, there's clothes, there's what else?
Music.
Music. Thank you. So similarly, food I think tells you more about a culture over a period of time.
Right.
However, the interesting thing about food is that if it's kept alive for a longer time, you get to deep dive and see where that culture was, what
Right.
it did. Uh, at the same time, food also has this beautiful quality of evolving with time, and many times a certain dish can evolve over a period of time or over a geographic location, and that can tell you more about the people who used to eat it and how they sort of moved, and it tells you all the details about how these cultures migrated, moved from one place to another,
Right.
and all those stories come out when you have their food.
All right. So, thank you so much for that. For your personal cultural background, considering, as you just mentioned, the intrinsic link between food and culture, how would you say your cultural background comes out when you run your business?
So my cultural background. So typically, I am from Belgaum, which is sort of the north of Karnataka, close to Goa, and I grew up eating Konkani food. That was in the homes of my grandparents and my family, extended family over there. However, my dad was in the army, so we moved around the country
Right.
to many places. So very early in my younger days, I got exposed to different kinds of cuisines from different parts of the country,
Right.
and I found that adapting to that was a lot easier than being strict about eating only what you were born and brought up with.
Right.
So, towards the time that I joined college and started working in the industry, I think I already had a fairly open mind about trying different types of food and understanding them for their value.
I see.
So when I use that as a as a barometer when we are working, it just makes it that much more easier for me to accept another type of food or a culture, and also it helps me understand that food a lot better.
Okay. So perfect in that case. For now, you
That,
have.
I think, in some ways leads directly into what you're trying to prove, right? Exposure to different kinds of food opens your mind out
Yes.
to
So regarding that,
culture.
you use a lot of examples of fusion food in your menus. So a particular example could be like masala onion rings, or basically combining two separate flavors and the means of a food from different areas. So have you seen examples where your food has brought together people from different cultural backgrounds? Like somebody who would only be brought up with one particular kind of food gets exposed and appreciates others from different areas because of your food?
I would answer that in a different way. So you're familiar with the restaurant that we do upstairs, which is Uta,
Yes.
which does the cuisine of the state of Karnataka.
Mm.
I think to begin with, it was a great idea to just bring together all the micro cultures of a state under one roof, and therefore create a showcase for the state.
I see.
Now, here's the interesting bit. Anybody who travels to the state, and usually I would say it is foreigners, and by foreigners I mean people who are not exposed to Karnataka culture,
Right.
when they come to your place, when they come to your city, the first thing they want to know is where can we get authentic food, not only from Bangalore but from the state. Like where can we taste this? And more often than not, a whole bunch of the corporates bring their people from overseas and from outside of Karnataka to the restaurant here to get that taste and sample the culture through the food.
Right.
So if you're saying that does food bring different cultures together, most certainly it does, because there is that curiosity that people carry with them, and there is that eagerness to understand and learn something, which brings them to our restaurant.
Are
So
there
in that sense, yeah, we create that connect.